In 2025, the Cordillera once again proved that it can economically grow amidst persistent challenges such as extreme weather conditions, market pressures, governance challenges, and global uncertainty. At constant 2018 prices, the Cordillera economy generated 394.6 billion worth of goods and services, growing by 0.4% from 2024. While this growth was lower than the 4.9% in 2024, Cordillera posted the third highest per capita GDP among all regions, behind only the national capital region and northern Mindanao. The growth of our economy was largely driven by the services sector, accounting for 70% of regional output. The industry sector contributed 22.6%, while agriculture, forestry, and fisheries contributed 7.4% of the regional economy. This number shows that our schools and universities, tourism, transportation services, financial services, public services, and our many small businesses continue to energize and drive the economy of our region. All provinces and Baguio City contributed to the sustained economic growth of the region, with all sub-regional economies posting growth from 2021 to 2024, while Baguio and Benguet dominate CAR's economy, contributing 47% and 23% of the region's total outputs, respectively. We also saw growth and industry diversification in the provinces, which signifies hope for rural development. Kalinga contributes 7.9% to the total regional output, Ifugao 7.5%, Abra 6.8%, Mountain Province 4.3%, and Apayao 3.2%. On jobs creation, Cordillera remained one of the strongest performing regions. Preliminary results showed 97.3% employment rate in 2025, while unemployment stood at 2.7%, among the lowest nationwide. Underemployment also improved, falling to 11.7% from 12.9% previous year. The growth of our economy has also resulted in a continuous decline of poverty incidence among population, starting from a rate of 12% in 2018, 9.9% in 2021, and finally 7% in 2023. In line with the theme Smart Cordillera, enabling local enterprise through digital transformation and accelerated regional autonomy, the region is continuously investing in the digitalization of all sectors to bring economy opportunities to our people, especially those in the geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. The cooperative sector and the financial institutions made financial services more accessible to our farmers. Micro-entrepreneurs, women, and families who have limited access to formal banking system, ensuring that every Cordilleran is financially included. The PALEQ-R or PH program, the BSP, nearly doubled from 7 to 13 LGUs, enabling market vendors and consumers to use safe and convenient cashless transactions. Several digitalization programs were introduced or expanded to support local enterprises. These include the e-commerce para sa lahat by the DICT, MSME mentoring programs on digital skills, the OTOP.ph or OTOP Philippine Hub by the DTI, the Electronic Business Permit and Licensing System or the EBPLS, and the eGov.ph and Electronic Business One-Stop Shops or EBOS for the LGUs. We also continue to support industries that promote both income and identity. The recognition of Balbalasang Economic Village in Balbalan, Kalinga as the best 2025 Best Tourism Village reminds us that development in the Cordillera must not come at the expense of our culture and environment. Tumakdar kayo man na taga-Kalinga nila. These were boosted by the DOT's various programs on improving online promotion through the Love and Philippine Digital Platform, community-based tourism programs, workforce capability, and tourism innovation. Growth in our tourism, when done responsibly, becomes more than an attraction. It becomes livelihood, pride, and cultural preservation. We sustained our support for harnessing the region's renewable energy potential with more than 100 hydropower projects awarded by our national energy partners across the region, totaling to 6,791.94 megawatts in the potential capacity and 320.92 megawatts already in commercial operation. Additionally, through the collaboration of our member agencies, photovoltaic solar home systems were turned over to the communities in 4 municipalities of Benguet, bringing light to the households that remain difficult to reach by power lines. Innovation was also brought to our farmers through our partner agencies, a solar-powered irrigation system deployed in Alfonso Lista and Lamon, Ifugao, and drone-assisted farming introduced in Kalinga and Apayao, and in Baguio City and Benguet, urban gardening was promoted. Proof that the food production can thrive not only in wide farmlands but also in backyard schools and communities. But amidst this innovative solution, we will still strengthen our indigenous production systems across ancestral domains. Through the kabuhayan at kaunlaran ng kababayang katutubo for 4K, support was extended to coffee, heirloom rice, banana, and livestock enterprises in our provinces. Considering all these accomplishments, do we still need Cordillera autonomy? Data isod ako. Kasapulan tayo lang ba iti Cordillera autonomy? Kakailan sapay kumatag may satayo iti sumbat. Our answers must be one and the same. Yes, maamin na niya. Because we can still do better with the community, responsive, culturally sensitive, self-determined development and accountable governance systems. We then applaud our Cordillera legislators for filing House Bill number 6981 in 20th Congress. Dato'y ni ako tumogan. May sana kayo man mag-attend ka na kastoy na okasyon. Which seeks to establish the Cordillera Autonomous Region, we are more confident now with the recently completed fiscal viability study providing us evidence of region's fiscal capacity to operate under an autonomous setup even if the regional government absorbs evolved national functions, services. We are assured that we can transition to an autonomous region with manageable disruptions and no diminution of benefits. Our performance in 2025 and our experience early in 2026 reminds us that our region will always be constrained if we do not address our vulnerabilities. Our economy continues to move forward, but remains vulnerable to severe weather like Typhoon Uwan that caused around 8.77 billion worth of damages, disrupting work, classes, livelihood, and communities. Growth also remains heavily concentrated in our urban areas. There was relief in the prices of goods and services in 2025 with an average annual inflation rate of 2.1%, but our current experience on spiking prices due to the US-Iran conflict started February this year bears our vulnerability to things out of our control. When we celebrate our efforts towards digitalization, we remain lagging behind our neighboring regions in terms of supporting digital infrastructure. We also continue to face the governance and public trust crisis, unfunded regional priority plans and programs, policies inappropriate to our local context, and stark disparities between our cities and provinces. All of these challenges us to work even harder and smarter. This is why our development priorities for 2026 must be clear and urgent. House Bill 6981 has been filed, and thus we accelerate our roadmap towards Cordillera autonomy. Let us push this forward to the Senate, to the passage of the Organic Act, and to the plebiscite. It is crucial that we influence our Congress, Senate to pass the Organic Act before this year ends. With the leadership of our good Cordillera Congressman, we call on everyone to prioritize, focus, and intensify grassroots IECs. Policy advocacy, lobbying so that by early 2027, the Organic Act will be ready for the President's signing. Also Cordilleras be given another chance to vote for autonomy through a plebiscite. By 2028, we target to have an election for regional officials coinciding with the national local elections. While this is at work, we continue to push for a smart Cordillera. Let's build a solid research and innovation base, strengthen research and development and knowledge creation, enhance the region's innovation infrastructure, and scale up technology adoption, utilization, and commercialization. The Regional Development Council emphasizes infrastructure development among key regional priorities. Every road, bridge, schools, health centers, flood protections, flood control projects, and water system must be designed with the realities of the Cordillera in mind. Our mountains, our slopes, our rivers, our landslide-prone areas, and our dispersed communities. We also strengthen accountable and results-based project implementation. The Regional Development Council adopted project endorsement guidelines to provide a more systematic and transparent framework for reviewing and endorsing post-development projects in the region. This is important because of our people do not just need projects that are approved, they need projects that are completed on time, built well, and able to serve communities for many years to come. We will advance disaster preparedness, climate resilience, and community-driven development. The RDC has supported the implementation of the Panahon ng Pagkikilos, Philippine Community Resilience Project. We must ensure that this will reach barangays, households, farmers, schools, health stations, and families living in areas most exposed to floods, landslides, and isolation. The Cordillera remains vulnerable to global price movement. supply chain disruptions, and the recurring oversupply of island vegetables. Over time, our farmers work too hard to produce abundantly, only to face low prices and unsold harvests that go to waste. We must help our farmers, micro and small enterprises, cooperative processors, transporters, and digital sellers from production to processing, packaging, storage, logistics, online marketing, and export readiness. We continue to invest in climate resilient farming, diversifying into high-value crops, deploying pest monitoring systems, adopting water-efficient irrigation, and embracing smart and green technologies to sustain the productivity of our agriculture communities. We must also reduce our dependence on imported fuel. Now is the time to accelerate the implementation of the Cordillera Renewable Energy Master Plan 2024 to 2023 so that our communities can rely on clean, affordable, locally produced energy. The succeeding reports by each of the RDC Sectoral Committee chairpersons will detail these priority strategies. I then call on all Cordillerans to remain relentless in our goal to build a Cordillera where progress is not only measured in billions of pesos but in terms of safe and nutritious meals on the table, children learning skills and cultural values in school, productive farmers earning fairly, competitive and creative enterprises growing through innovation, empowered citizens actively participating in governance, and resilient communities standing strong after every storm and crisis. Dahito'y iti Cordillera na biksa na unos manang salaknib na sirip ken agtultuloy nga agdurhas. Diyos tiyagina kanya tayo. Thank you.